You're listening to The Monetized Mom, the podcast that teaches moms of faith how to monetize their expertise online to create influence, impact, income, and more importantly, financial independence. I'm your host, Flo Alexander. Let's chat. Hey, Money Mamas. Welcome to the Monetized Mom podcast. I'm your host, Flo Alexander, and in this week's episode, we're going to be talking about how to build your profitable online business and make a full-time income from home. So if you're interested in learning how, stay tuned. Now, before I get started, I want to share a free resource with you. The Monetized Mom Master Playbook is my 4-part framework for turning your expertise into a profitable online business. And yes, you heard right, it's free. You can grab it now at themonetizedmom.com/freebie. Again, that's themonetizedmom.com/freebie. Now let's get on with this episode. All right, so if you are like most people, you probably think that earning a full-time income online is harder than it really is. And I used to think that as well until I did it. So today I want to break down the simple steps that you need to make it happen for you to build an online business that earns a full-time income without working full-time hours. Now, this is actually the framework that I teach within the Monetized Mom group coaching program. So you're actually getting a sneak peek into what you would learn if you were in the program. So this is what I call my EDGE framework. So in order to to build a profitable online business and make a full-time income from home, you have to have EDGE. And it's really just a simple 4-step process or framework that you need to follow. So let's hop in. So number 1, E. E is for establish your expertise. And that's really a 2-part step. But first is really getting clear on exactly what your expertise is in. So I walked through that exercise of kind of figuring out what your expertise is in a previous episode. So you want to check that out if you haven't listened to that already. But first, you need to identify and get really clear on exactly what you're an expert in. Is that something that you have learned on your career? Is it something that you have learned on the side as a side hustle? Is it something that you've mastered, something that you've overcome? What are you an expert in that you have the ability to teach others in a very methodical way so that they can get the same results or similar results as you? Now, the second part of this is to actually be known or seen as an expert online. So establishing yourself or being known as an expert online. Now, in person, you can be seen as an expert just from your title, your credentials, the letters behind your last name. Online, though, anyone can present themselves as an expert, which is a double-edged sword. And that's really why it's so important to vet your sources. But that also means that it levels the playing field for you. The great thing about the internet and being online is it's such a low barrier of entry. Anyone can be successful online. It doesn't have the same stipulations and roadblocks as it would be offline. Now, that's not to say that random people need to be pretending to be experts in something, which really does happen. But it just means that people like you and I who are truly experts in something, who have something to share of value to others, can enter the space, and it's easy for you to build a platform that's able to help people and then also to make income from. So again, E is establish your expertise. 2 parts here. Get clear on what you're an expert in, and then also be able to be seen as an expert online. Now, how do you get seen as an expert online or considered an authority in your space? You do that through your content, providing valuable content. There are 3 C's that I teach within the program. Content is one of them, but also having people co-sign on your authority. So someone who has more weight, so to speak, within your industry, being able to kind of dub you an expert as well. That is a part of being seen as an expert. So those are 2 of the 3 things that I teach in the program as far as how to be seen as an expert. But mostly, you want to provide valuable content that shows your expertise. All right, so the second thing is D, and D is for you to determine who you serve. You aren't for everybody. And I think I probably said this on this podcast, if not on my live streams, if not in some of my content before, but you are not for everybody. What you offer isn't for everyone. So the goal is not to reach as many people as possible. The only, scenario where I think being that broad in general is if you are a commodity business, like a Walmart, where you sell things that everyone needs, or if you are in ministry. Those are the only two times where I would say being that broad is okay, right? Ministry, you want to reach as many souls as possible, and commodities, everyone needs everyday things like toiletries, food, that type of stuff. So those are the only two instances where I would say be that broad. Otherwise, you need to be very specific on who it is you are called to serve. The goal is to reach the right people. So you have to be super clear on who those people are so that you can actually attract them to your platform. Who needs what you have to offer? That's really the simple question that you have to answer. But even more, I will say even deeper than that, who are you called to serve? Like, I feel like we are kingdom-based entrepreneurs in this space, and that's who I'm attracting to this podcast. So we want to be sure that we're clear on who are we called to serve? Who has God really purposed me to serve so I can reach those people? So I'm very clear on the fact that I serve moms. It's no guessing about that. The podcast is called The Monetized Mom. Now, that's not to say that men or other people don't listen and indulge in my content, but it's very clear on who I am called to serve and who I'm trying to reach. Now, within that, though, I can even get more specific on the psychographics and the different demographics of the moms that I do serve. But at the end of the day, I'm very clear that I am purposed for moms. And so you need to ask yourself, who do I serve? Who am I called to serve? The third thing is you need to generate expert content. I've already alluded to this, but content is what establishes you as an authority online and causes people to view you as an expert. So you have to focus a great deal on the content that you create. Your content should be very strategic. I think I did a post on this on Instagram. I'm sure I did, on like the things that your content needs to do, but ultimately your content needs to be strategic. It should reach and teach. Two things: reach and teach. Reach the right people and teach them something that will help them solve a problem that they have. That's really all people come online for, is to find answers to questions that they have or to get something that solves a problem for them. Even in entertainment, people come online to be entertained because it's solving some kind of problem. They need a laugh. They're having a down day. They're bored. Like, even that solves a problem. So your content needs to be of value and it needs to solve a problem that they have. And I actually, again, talk about how to develop content and establish yourself as an expert in the group coaching program. So you want to make sure you get in the program to learn those techniques, those strategies, and those hacks that I have. But anyway, create valuable content that solidifies you as an expert and creates like, know, and trust with people that you're called to help. At the end of the day, people will purchase from those that they like, that they know, and that they trust. And here's a gem that you can take for free. But the quickest way to build trust with people who are new to your platform is to have a referral. That's why testimonials are important. The word of other people validates you. So if you're able to have somebody refer you or to have a testimonial, that allows people to trust you that much more quickly, because having that cosign from someone else, it quickens that like, know, and trust factor that you want to have for people in order to invest in you. So there's a gem that you have there. So just think about it. How many times are you more apt to take a referral from a friend, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's someone to do your hair, your nails? You're more apt to text a friend and say, hey, who would you recommend for XYZ? Because you trust them, and therefore that trust transfers to the person that they refer. So just a tidbit for you to know. All right. Let's keep moving. The last thing is to exchange your expertise for pay. This is the grand finale. After doing all of that, establishing your expertise, after determining who you serve, after generating expert content, you ultimately want to exchange your expertise for pay. So here's the deal. You have to package your expertise into something that people will pay for. So whether that's a service, whether that's a product, whether that's done with you type of service, whatever it is, you have to package it into something that people will pay for. And again, this can be a product or a service. Those are the only two things that you can sell, products and services. Either way, whatever it is, you must have an offer. Now, of course, there are other ways that you can monetize online, like through affiliate marketing, that type of stuff, advertisement. I've talked about that at length before when I went through my sources of income. There are other ways that you can monetize, but the crux of it is having an offer. If you really want to make money online, you need to have an offer. And not only that, but because you want to have something that you have control over. I may have talked about this before in a previous episode, but I remember in 2020, like most people do, when advertisers started pulling back their ad spend, when companies started reducing the amount of commissions for affiliate marketing, if that was the only source of income that you had for yourself, you got hit very, very hard. So that's why it's important for you to have your own offer so that you're able to control your income and it's not contingent on how much a company wants to pay you for you promoting their services or products. So that's why it's important for you to have your own offer. Now, again, what you decide that offer to be is largely dependent on what your expertise is and what your audience needs. So when you make your offer or develop what your offer is, you definitely want to make sure it's something that your audience is asking for and that you're in tune with their needs so that it is something that is going to be virtually guaranteed to sell. And again, that's something I teach in the Monetize Mom. So anyway, you have got to have edge if you want to be successful in the online business space, if you want to build a profitable business and make a full-time income from home. Now, when you do all four of those and you continue to work it and work it and work it and refine it, that's when you will start seeing the increase. That's when you will start seeing that income start to roll in and you will reach full-time income before you know it. I like to say or like to share that I did this on the side. Not working full-time hours, I was able to generate significant income in my online business. Now, I will say, don't think that you're going to implement all of this and then 30 days from now, you will be making a full-time income. I'm not making that guarantee. I'm just saying if you do the work and you follow this framework over time, you will get the results that you are looking for. So anyway, 4 very simple and practical things that you can do to build your online business and make a full-time income from home. As always, if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe, share, and go to Apple Podcasts and leave a review. For the number of people who listen to this podcast every week, it's not showing in the reviews, guys. So I would really appreciate it in all seriousness if you can go leave a review, even if it's just the 5-star rating, or if you want to actually leave a comment. I would really appreciate the comments because I love to read those. But just leave a review because people are actually finding this from Apple, sharing it with them from the reviews and the ratings and the content that's on the podcast. So make sure you do that. I would appreciate it. And with that, I'll talk to you in the next episode.